A very good morning, class. So, as you all know that we were doing this chapter, that is chapter 15 towards freedom, and the topics that we have covered under this chapter are first was the introduction part, then was discontent among Indians, and next was revolt against the British. So today we'll start with this topic, that what basically happened after the revolt, when our Indian soldiers that were working under the army of British, so when they thought of going against the British, so they planned out each and everything. And what basically happened after that? What was the things they had to face after the revolt that we are going to discuss? So the British suppressed the first war of independence. What is the meaning of suppressed? Suppressed means to stop something by using force. So the British basically stopped the plannings and everything that we Indians were doing for the first war of independence by their force. Fine. Many factors were basically also responsible for the failure of the revolt. And what basically those factors were? The first one is it did not spread in all the parts of India, right? The revolt, the basic planning did not spread all over the parts of India. Second, even we as Indians, we did not have sufficient money and good weapons. Third, the revolt was not organized properly, and on the other hand, British soldiers, they had well equipped and modern weapons and were very well organized. Fine. Then basically after the revolt was stopped, what were the results that took place? First, many Indians were killed, and like half of them were put into prison. So the rule of East Indian Company that basically ended in the year 1858. The administrations of Indians were taken over by the government of England, and however the Indian princes, they were allowed to take rule over their territories. So this basically happened after the revolt. Next, we'll talk about the social and religious reformers. So basically, the British introduced modern education in India, and due to the introduction of the modern education, gradually educated Indian reformers introduced many social and religious reformers. So basically reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra, Debendranath Tagore. So basically these reformers were very active during this period. So what they exactly did, they strongly protested against social practices. Like they were totally against the social practice. So what basically they did, like social practices like sati. What basically is sati system? Custom of a widow burning herself on the funeral of her husband, and like killing female babies. Whenever female baby used to take birth, they were killed. Child marriage means marrying the child at a very early age. And the caste system. What is caste system? Division of people into groups based on birth. So all these practices, all the social practices were totally discouraged by the Indian reformers, and they were totally against, they protested against these social practices. They also encouraged widow remarriage, that when a woman gets widow, then instead of practicing the sati system, she should get remarried, and you should also educate the women. So next we'll talk about rise of nationalism. What is this word nationalism? What this basically means? So nationalism basically is the desire of a group of people who shares the same race, culture, language, etc. to form an independent country. Fine. So what basically happened, educated Indians realized that the British wanted to keep India poor and backward. And this realization united the Indians. Slowly the feeling of unity or nationalism grew very stronger amongst them. And the growing feeling of nationalism basically resulted in Indian National Congress, in the formation of Indian National Congress in the year 1855. Fine. So basically this National Congress was formed by an Englishman whose name was Alan Octavian, and its first session was held at Mumbai. It was attended basically by 72 delegates, right, from all over India, and the president of this session was Chandra Banerjee. Thereafter, the Congress met met every years in different cities. Fine. It basically slowly became very strong. It awakened the spirit of unity amongst the Indian, and at the same time, it basically requested the government to introduce the reformers to improve the living conditions of people. So the growing popularity of Congress worried the British to suppress the rising spirit of nationalism, and the government passed many strict laws. Basically, the law used the policy of divide and rule to prevent the Hindus and Muslims from uniting. So, class, I hope you have understood each and every topic very clearly. So, now what you're going to do is that you are going to revise and read this chapter once again and kindly do it. Okay.